Welcome to Memphis, Tennessee, as the Memphis River Runners defend home turf against the Albuquerque Adams. I'm Tom Riddell, here with my broadcast partner, Josh Zirkle, as we bring you Simulation Minor Football League action. Josh, looks like we have a barn burner. What do you think we're in store for?
Well, Tom, I think we're in store for a burn barn. We might be witnessing one of the best teams in SFL minor league history in the Albuquerque Adams. And the Adams are held by, for my money, the most potent running back prospect in SFLm history, Douglas Brown, who last week put the big leagues on notice with his performance: 30 carries, 268 yards, a record 5 rushing touchdowns, and we will likely watch Albuquerque ride their star running back to the number 1 seed in the SFLm playoffs if they clinch, which they would clinch, with a win tonight. Memphis is still alive in the playoffs, but their destiny is out of their own hands. They need a Tacoma loss later tonight, and they need Madison to lose, but ultimately none of that matters if they can't pull off the mother of all upsets against Albuquerque tonight, Tom.
Well, the Adams win the toss, and looks like they're going to get the ball. River Runners will defend the south goal. We wait for the ball to go onto the tee.
We're going to see a look at Douglas Brown a little earlier than we might have expected. I hope he's feeling refreshed after a week off.
And we're off. Ball comes down at about the 9-yard line and tackled at the 25. It'll be 1st and 10, Albuquerque.
Tom, let's meet the Albuquerque Adams offense. At quarterback, number 15, Trellis Blanton. The halfback, number 21, Douglas Brown. The wide receivers are number 11, Henry Meyer III, and number 14, Nate Ritters. And the tight end, number 85, Paulie Truth.
And we come to the line as they go full house. Handoff. Inside. Breaks it outside. Look out! Look out! Big run. 1st and 10, Albuquerque from the 42-yard line. Beautiful run there by Douglas Brown.
And that is a trademark Douglas Brown run, going off tackle to the left or right side, getting outstanding blocking at the first level, and doing it just enough to make that first defender cry out for his mother. What an outstanding run out of the gate by Douglas Brown.
So now they go with a 2 tight end set, 2 receivers, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Back to pass. Caught over the center. It'll be a 1st down as they get down to the 44-yard line of Memphis.
And that is Paulie Truth, and they're getting him started early. We called their game last week, and Truth a little late on the ball, getting involved in the Albuquerque offense. Trellis Blanton not making that mistake this week. Truth already has his first catch.
So now they go tights with fullback in the backfield, back to pass. It's a dump pass off to Douglas Brown, and he'll pick up 5 on the play.
And that's the versatility of Douglas Brown. I think that's what makes him such a hot prospect. He can run north and south, northeast, and northwest. But you know what? He can catch the ball out of the backfield too, Tom. He is a triple threat, if ever there was.
So we're down to 9:36 on the clock, and this time we go double tights with two in the backfield. Handoff to Brown. There's a penalty on the play.
And I didn't see the penalty, but once again, Brown getting great yardage, getting 4 yards a pop there when it looked like it might have been a no gain.
Number 23, offense.
Looks like a clip.
And right now, the only thing that could set Albuquerque back is the officials. Memphis, their season on the line in this game, Tom. They're going to need to put something together, if not on this drive, this opening drive, at some point later in the game, if they intend to keep Douglas Brown and Albuquerque at bay.
2 receivers to the bottom as they go from the gun. Blanton calling signals. Looks like they're going to blitz here. Back to pass goes Blanton. Caught. 1st down. Actually, no, it'll be 3rd and 13.
And that is Nate Ritters. And Nate Ritters I think of as more of an over-the-middle type of threat. He makes most of his catches in between the hash marks. And I think of Henry Meyer III as someone who is more of a master of the out routes. This time, Ritter's running the out route and can't bring the pass in inbounds.
So they go back to the gun, this time with 3 wides, as Blanton calls signals. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. Caught. And down by number 19. That's Traeger, 6'1", 192.
Mackenzie Traeger will catch a couple balls in this offense, but that is exactly what Memphis needed. They got it to stop, but it looks like Albuquerque's going to go for it here on 4th and 2.
And they go full house with a single receiver to the bottom.
If they're going for it here, this is smart. Just give it to Douglas Brown. Let him carry you into field goal range.
And it looks like they're just going to try to push them offside here, Josh. And Memphis isn't biting.
It looked a little antsy, though. Not a terrible call, especially in the first half. If you do get him to jump, it's free yardage. That's the problem with that play. Sometimes it does work, but most of the time it's not much fun to watch.
So we'll see Dane Morrow on the field goal, 6'3", 225. Ranked right now as the number 2 kicker in the league.
And this would be from 52 yards. This is the outer edge of Morrow's range. But this is... No, looks like they're actually going to punt.
That'll bring out Ralph Bellington. And the ball is caught fair catch at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10, Memphis.
And Memphis, not great field position, but a better punt from Bennington would have pinned that inside the 10 or even inside the 5. But they did not have an opportunity to do that. Memphis making the fair catch. And when you are a special teams player, that's what you want to do. You want your heels on that 10-yard line. And if that ball's anywhere near you, you go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, you let it roll and hope for the touchback.
And as O.J. Bruin comes under center with a single back, that's Wells. Wells gets the inside handoff, and he'll pick up 2 on the play.
And Tom, let's meet the Memphis River Runners offense. At quarterback, number 13, O.J. Bruin. The halfback, number 21, G.P. Wells. The wide receivers are number 18, Israel Adams, and number 19, Mike Churchill. The tight end is number 47, Caesar Ackerman. And at guard, number 66, Aiden Bleeker.
So the River Runners come out full house, inside handoff, and it's blowing up in the backfield. Nice play by the Adams defense.
Yeah,
It'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's a big play by number 94, Yakov Zolotov, and he's got some range for an outside linebacker, all the shiftiness that you would expect. And G.P. Wells, who was a nice running back in this Memphis offense, averaging 4.8 yards a pop, having trouble getting going here on the River Runners opening drive.
And they go bunch to the bottom of the screen on 3rd and 8. Bruin calling signals, back to pass. Complete. And he'll just miss the first down. It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, Adams capitalizing on the bunch concept there. You saw he was wide open, Tom, but he was not able to get the ball past the line to gain. And when you run a play like this and you have the guy catch it behind the sticks, you're expecting him to make a play there. And he was not able to do so there, and it's an ugly 3-and-out for Memphis to start this game.
And that'll bring on Jack Keener, the punter, 6'1", 210. Coming down at about the 40-yard line, and they'll get it at the 43.
Nice.
If you're new,
go ahead.
If you're new to the Simulation Football League, it combines traditional sports, esports, and role-playing games into one. Team strategy being executed on the field in real time by our simulations as real players compete on a virtual gridiron. For more information, go to simulationfootball.net. Simulationfl.net. We're going offset eye, 2 receivers, as Blanton calls signals. Outside handoff to Brown, and he'll pick up 4 on the play.
And that is actually a serviceable stop for Douglas Brown. Douglas Brown, through the season, averaging 8.9 yards a touch on carry on the ground. Imagine having a running back and getting into 2nd and 1, or even doing a little better every time your guy touches the ball.
Cummings snaps the ball, and they're going to run the little screen play up here to Brown. And he'll get the 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line.
And we're seeing Memphis showing a lot of aggression, playing those A-gaps, trying to show blitz. But this is the problem when you do that. You have trouble getting to the sideline when Douglas Brown is running these flare routes. And he is finding green grass in front of him, Tom. He's got a lot of opportunity. And if he's going to make one of those defenders miss, look out.
So now we're going more with a heavy set here. Blanton calling signals. Looks to stack the box here. They're just going to dump it off. And that's a nice gain of good 8 yards.
And after Brown getting 30 carries last week, he's got 3 catches already, and we're just barely halfway through the first quarter. Albuquerque, you would expect a 6-0 team, a team that's already in the playoffs, to maybe rest on their laurels a little bit. But Albuquerque looks like they've put together a unique game plan to get past this River Runners defense.
They shift on defense, and they dump it off. And they'll get another first out of it. Nice play by number 23.
Yeah, that's Waverly, the fullback. And he will not, he might catch a ball or two, but this is really impressive running. He gets the block right there and had a chance to really get a big gain out of that. But as it stands, first down.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. We're down to 5:05 on the first quarter clock. As we go I formation with double tights. Cummings waiting for the snap. Blanton gets there, and it's knocked down. Beautiful play by the linebacker for Memphis.
And let's meet the Memphis River Runners defense. At defensive tackle, Isaac Forrester and Morgan Mills. The inside linebacker, Miles Gibson. At outside linebacker, Zed Markoff. The cornerbacks are Laquan Smith and Roy Vance. At free safety, Amari Rari. And at strong safety, Danny Sakalaritis.
So they're going back to this same formation. Inside handoff. Spin. Nice gain on the second down. We're 3rd and 4 from the 21-yard line. Beautiful run by Brown.
Yeah, Brown keeping his team on schedule in 3rd and 4. And I'll be curious to see what Albuquerque does here. This is not an instant running situation for most teams, but when your running back is averaging 9 yards a pop, maybe it is.
So they go to the full house formation, and it looks like they're stacking the box. They're sliding over for Memphis. They slide protection. There's the handoff. First down, and more. Look out! Look out! Touchdown! Awesome.
And Douglas Brown looks like he might have been stopped 2 yards behind the line to gain. But once again, the blocking for Albuquerque on the offensive line came through. Brown waited for his block. Now we're going to get a replay of it here. And you go to that heavy set, and that's more blockers than you have for Douglas Brown. And he breaks that tackle, and then it's a race to the pylon at that point. And Douglas Brown has been winning more than his fair share of those. Touchdown Albuquerque.
So now we'll get the extra point with Dane Monroe. 6'3", 225. Snap down and through the uprights. Albuquerque now has a 7-point lead over the Memphis River Runners.
In Memphis, we saw in their first drive go quite a bit to GP Wells. And O.J. Bruin, who I was expecting to see in the upper echelon of SFLm quarterbacks, I think it's fair to say that he has not quite made it to that standard, but really has an opportunity to show the big league scouts watching this game tonight what he could do against an outstanding Albuquerque defense. And he's going to have to do that if he wants to keep his team in this game.
So they'll get to be 1st and 10, Josh, from their Memphis 27-yard line. We're down to 4:05 in the first quarter. They need to move this ball.
They need to move the ball, and I think they need to find somebody other than GP Wells to do it, at least on this drive. And I think O.J. Bruin has the ability and the capability and the surrounding supporting cast to make that happen.
We're going split backs here. Inside handoff. Wells. And he gets a good run there. That'll be 1st and 10. Up to the 38-yard line.
GP Wells just shut me up there. Took what would have been a small gain, put a spin cycle on, and ran for the 1st down. And here he is, like, hitting the hole with speed, gets a good block, makes the first defender miss, and boom, instant 1st down. How do you like that, Colonel Tom?
Now, good play by them. Now let's get back to the line of scrimmage here as Bruin calls signals. Inside handoff. Bruin again, and he breaks a big one here. We're down to the 45-yard line.
And look at this. Wells on back-to-back carries. Gets his team into plus territory. And you go ahead and flex, young man. That is some outstanding running. GP Wells answering the bell here for Memphis.
So Bruin under center, and they go full house here. Albuquerque counters by stacking the box. Outside run, spin, and he'll pick up 4 on the play. Nice play by Wells.
And Tom, they ran that out of the heavy set, and they put 2 blockers in front of Wells, and he needed both of them to avoid the TFL. Managed to turn upfield and make chicken salad out of whatever that play would have been. It got a gain of 4 yards. Not bad.
Yeah. So here we go. Now we go back to the I formation. Receivers to the top and the bottom with 2 tights. Inside handoff to Wells. And it'll be 3rd and inches.
And give credit to the Memphis offensive line. They're getting an outstanding push here off this Albuquerque front 4. Frank Stackhouse, Tiger Santana, guys on this Albuquerque defensive line that are used to controlling the tempo. And at the moment, they are the ones being controlled as Memphis works into field goal range.
They go back to that full house formation. Wells again. And he gets the 1st, barely.
And it's nice to see that any player or group that I'm critical of is just going to make an outstanding play on the very next play. I'm quite fine with that. Very nice job by Albuquerque corralling Wells and getting a short gain, but unfortunately giving up the 1st down.
So now they're going to go single backs with 2 tights. Receivers to the top and the bottom. Wells back to pass. Short pass, caught. That's number 47, Caesar Ackerman.
And that is Ackerman's 1st catch of the game. And that is just a nice way to get him warmed up. Just have him park below the linebackers in the hook zone. Stand around and let OJ just lob it over the line to him. Nice gain of 4.
So they go back to the full house. This time they bounce it outside to the bottom. And look out! Look out! Beautiful run. 1st and 10 at the Albuquerque 17-yard line.
And watch number 49, Isaac Holtz. He's a fullback there. Get a great block right there that springs Wells and nearly gets him into the end zone. He was probably 1 move away from making that happen. But Memphis now in the red zone, looking to answer this drive, Tom, from Albuquerque.
So here we go. Now we head to the gun. 2 to the bottom. As the Albuquerque Adams shift. Looks like they're about to blitz. Back to pass. Caught. That's Adams on the catch. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And this is just a terrific drive right now by Memphis. They're doing it incrementally in the passing game. It looks like there's going to be a challenge. I think this pass is going to hold up, Tom. But Israel Adams has a catch on this drive. Ackerman has one. GP Wells doing some fantastic running. Bleeker helping the cause with his blocking. And Memphis needed to answer this drive for Albuquerque, and I think they've done that.
Yeah, that's a catch. That's a catch all day long. You only need 1 foot in the SFL and the SFL minors.
The play stands. The pass was complete. The catch was made prior to going out of bounds. The Rustlers will be charged.
And the ruling stands.
Second down.
And Albuquerque's going to lose a challenge. That means they're only going to have 1 left. And that, you don't want to say that that's going to be a factor at this point. We obviously have no idea. But something to keep an eye on for later, Tom.
We're down to 34 seconds remaining in the quarter as they go with an offset I. And 2 receivers to the top. Handoff to Wells. He battles and blows out like a tank. Looked like a Mike Allstat run.
Yeah, that was number 94 for Albuquerque getting in on the action. But ultimately, that's Yakov Zolotov again making that tackle. And this is where running gets tough in the red zone. Defense doesn't have as much territory to cover. And you've got to be a little more creative on the offensive side if you want to find the end zone from here.
Will they get this play off? They do. Hand off to Wells. And he gets down to the 3-yard line as time expires in the first quarter. With the score, Albuquerque 7, Memphis 0. You're listening to the Simulation Minor League on YouTube. The third edition of the SFML playoffs kickoff with a semifinal action on Wednesday, June 16th. After the conclusion of the regular season Friday, June 11th, the SFL Championship is what can be seen live on June 20th. Start building your player today. Visit Discord and the community. So Wells back to pass. There's the inside handoff. Touchdown, River Runners.
G.P. Wells had his fingerprints all over that drive, especially there on the run. He's getting great blocking, don't get me wrong, but he is hitting the holes like a thunderbolt. And there he goes once again, straight up the middle, makes a little cut. Easy peasy mac and cheesy on that drive for Memphis. And Albuquerque's got to wonder if they can't get their run defense shored up against the River Runners.
They could have used some mac and cheese to bloody damn well slow them down. So now we're going for the extra point here. Nate Collier comes out. And he kicks it to the uprights, so we have a tie ball game with 10:58 in the second quarter.
Memphis had to answer, and they have answered. And now Albuquerque, the undefeated Adams, the team that we were hyping up so much in the open for this game. And now it's up to them to answer. And are we going to see more Douglas Brown? Or maybe get some other folks involved in the offense? And the other element I would think about with that, Tom, is if you are Albuquerque and you know you have a stud running back who's going to be drafted in the top 3 or maybe even better than that, wouldn't you want to use a game like this before you face Salt Lake City next week to get some of those other guys involved, Henry Meyer III, Nate Ritters, and Paulie Truth, and maybe give Douglas Brown a little bit less of the limelight than you would have last week?
Good point. Now we go to the 31-yard line as Blanton goes from the gun, waiting for the snap from Cummings. Caught over the center. That'll be a first down on the play.
And that looks like Ritters, who's a little slow to get up there. But that is his jam, catching balls in traffic and sometimes doing a little bit extra as he's done there. And he will run those in routes, slant routes all day long. Tremendous catch and getting the field to get the first down.
So we're up to the 43-yard line, first and 10. As the River Runners try to defend and stop this drive cold. Go to the I formation here. Two receivers. Back to pass goes Blanton. Plenty of time. Look out. Here comes the pressure. Going long. And it's tipped.
Yeah, Blanton looking for Ritters again. And Blanton had all kinds of time to throw, but the pressure was coming. And it's Saccharaitis. Although he was beaten by Ritters. And you see number 20 there. That's Amari Rari with a little bit of confusion as well. Very fortunate that Saccharaitis was able to get up and get a piece of that ball. And if he doesn't deflect that and Nate Ritters catches it, he is gone. So good play by Memphis there, fortunately.
So we're back to second and 10. And this time they're going to go back to more of a running formation as they go heavy set with two tights. Inside handoff. Brown. And look out, he's gone. He's gone. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Adams. What a run.
And Douglas Brown, again, reaping the benefits of the Albuquerque scheme. 3 tight ends on that set. And Brown does absolutely nothing fancy, but goes straight up the hole. And we'll get a look at it on the replay here. A little block from Waverly there, and Waverly does make a block right there, but Brown just makes a little adjustment. There's nobody there to catch him. Just an amazing electric run by Douglas Brown. He had about 4 of those in his game last week against Ottawa, and he still has that arrow in his quiver, making it with his second touchdown of the game tonight.
Amazing that they wear green. Makes you think of the Green Arrow, doesn't it?
It makes me think that they're all soaking in uranium.
So here we go as we go for the extra point here by Morrow. Through the uprights and good, and we got a 14-7 game with Albuquerque back in front.
And now Memphis will try to answer with their own. And GP Wells, who got going on that last drive, will be called upon again. And you won't see more of a contrast between those two plays, or those two types of drives, where Memphis methodically working the ball down the field, only to get on the sideline and watch Albuquerque rip off a 70-yard run at the hands and feet of Douglas Brown. And now Memphis has to answer again.
That was a deep kick, and they get up to the 28-yard line, so that's not a bad return considering that ball came all the way down at the 2.
Not at all. Tremendous starting yardage. Well, we have a second. Tom, let's meet the Albuquerque Adams defense. The defensive end is Frank Stackhouse. The defensive tackle, Tiger Santana. At inside linebacker, David Ware. Outside linebacker, Yakov Zolotov. The cornerbacks are Daniel Valentine and Don Fletcher. Free safety, Ronnie Renfro. At strong safety, Dante Grimm. And welcome to the league, Robert Ivory, also playing strong safety.
Quick pass out to Wells. He'll pick up 5 on the play.
And now GP Wells showing a little versatility. He can catch balls out of the backfield as well. Nice job turning upfield and getting yardage, keeping his team on schedule, second and medium.
As they head out. As they go offset eye here, 3 wide receivers. Bruin calling signals. Inside, fakes the inside handoff, dumps it off on the out, and that'll be 3rd and inches.
And that's a nice catch on the sideline, testing the boundaries of this Albuquerque defense. That's Ken Harris, the backup wide receiver, making his presence felt. But back-to-back throws here by O.J. Bruin, trying to get some offense brewing here in the second quarter.
So now they're going full house here. And they hand it off to Wells, and he'll get the first down and more. Look out! He picks up at least 15, 20 yards on that play. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line.
And you see his numbers on the day, 79 yards in the first half, which is good. But think about the defense he's doing this against. And you see the touchdown-saving tackle there by the secondary. And I didn't get the number on who that was, but that is really amazing to think about. GP Wells watching everything Douglas Brown is doing and trying to do the Annie Oakley. Anything you could do, I could do almost as well, and he almost did it there.
Bounces it outside.
Wow.
Look out! Look out! 20, 10, touchdown River Runners!
Anything you could do, I could do better. What an amazing move behind the line of scrimmage by GP Wells. He was dead to rights, and for the life of me, I've not seen a better spin move in SFLm or in the SFL Big Leagues. Watch this. Wham! I mean, there's nowhere to go. He's dead. And then makes a move right there, and he is gone. GP Wells, that's got to be the run of the year in SFLm. Just a tremendous second and third effort by the running back to get his team level with the undefeated Albuquerque Adams.
Just a boxing match. Punch after punch. So now we're down to the 2 for the extra point. As Collier hits the field. Snap down, ball through the uprights, and we're back to a tie ball game. Nice drive by the River Runners.
Yeah, nice drive. That run made me all sweaty. I'm like losing my mind. I need to turn a fan on in here. That was outstanding.
Well, it's summer. They just turn up the heat.
GP Wells single-handedly keeping his team's season alive at this point. And they need to win out, and they need help as well. And right now they are doing their part, at least, to keep up with Albuquerque.
Collier kicks the ball down to the 10-yard line. And look out. We got a good run back here. Look out. Look out. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Adams. What a run.
That is unbelievable.
Number 19, Mackenzie Traeger.
That's Traeger. Traeger had a catch in the first quarter, and look at the blocking here. And he just picks a spot, and Memphis has nowhere to go. There's no contain on the left side of this kickoff formation, and the only guy to make it even close is number 36. That's Rich Lerner. And Traeger just takes it to the house. This is just amazing.
This has been an absolute boxing match. Punch, counter punch.
That is just absolutely unbelievable. Albuquerque getting it done on the special team side. We knew they could run the ball. We knew they could play defense. I didn't know Mackenzie Traeger had that in him. Now that, and what a time for it too. Outstanding kick return TD.
And Monroe kicks it through, so we've now got a 21-14 ball game as the points are coming in bunches here, Josh.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns in about, 14 minutes of game time?
Yep.
Not too shabby, moving at a pretty good clip here.
So now Monroe gets the ball set at the 30-yard line. And it's up. Caught at about the 2-yard line. And it'll be River Runners' ball at their own 25. The SFL broadcast team is looking for new talent to join our ranks as broadcasters. Applications are being accepted to try out for either play-by-play or analysts. Just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on the website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. As we go to the gun here, 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Caught over the center, and he'll pick up 8 yards on the play.
And once again, that's Ken Harris, who had a catch in the last drive and gets another one here. And this is not a very sophisticated route. This works because of the trip formation. The backfield's playing man defense. They're a little bit confused. Who's got Harris? Nobody's really sure. And it's Dante Grimm who has to come up and make that tackle. But that's a nice gain on first down for Memphis.
We're down to 7:45 as they break the huddle. And again, they're going to go with that full house set. And the bottom is wide open if they decide to go that direction. And this time they bounce it inside, and it's snowed under. Beautiful play by number 95.
And you see the numbers there. That's Tiger Santana making the play, getting the TFL. And you saw the numbers already, 124 yards for Wells. But Albuquerque with 8 in the box, they're going to try and shut down his run game and make O.J. Bruin beat them.
So they're going to stack the box here. Hand off to Wells, and they shut him down. It'll be 4th and 2, and we'll see an Adams punt here.
And after GP Wells and what he's been able to do, his 2 touchdown runs already, you would think at 2nd and 2 that a first down would have been a foregone conclusion, but Albuquerque makes the adjustment. They bring pressure and they get penetration behind the line, and they force a punt with a 7-point lead. They're going to get the ball back.
There's the punt. Good hang time. 4.1 seconds, and the call for the fair catch. We're at the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Albuquerque.
And that is a clutch stop, a clutch 3 and out by that Albuquerque Adams defense. And that is what champions do. You come through, the game's getting crazy. You have opposing running back run for 2 touchdowns, and then you get a kickoff return touchdown. And now we may see a return to normalcy here with Blanton under center.
And inside handoff to Brown. and he'll pick up a yard on the play.
And that's Chad Clemens on that tackle, really a shoulder tackle. True to cornerback form, did not wrap up, just blasted Brown in the shoulder pads. Did the job, only a gain of 1.
As we go 2nd and 9. Inside handoff to Brown, and he'll pick up a good 6 yards on the play.
And Zed Markoff was along for the ride for about 5 of those yards. He actually made contact really close to the line of scrimmage. Did not have the leverage, was not able to bring him down. And Douglas Brown should charge him for the mile, should charge him cab fare for that 5-yard trip.
Third down and 3. Back to pass. Over the center and tipped. Beautiful play by number 22 of Memphis.
Yeah, that's Saccharaitis again. We saw him do this earlier in the game, Tom. And once again, he goes up. And this time he's able to shut out Albuquerque. And the Memphis defense delivers a 3-and-out of their own. I mean, Albuquerque's going to have to punt.
So Bennington will be back to punt from his own 25-yard line. Here comes the pressure, nearly blocked. And they're going to have a return, and it'll be 3 yards on the return, and they'll be up to the 24-yard line.
And I really think at this point, O.J. Bruin is going to have an opportunity to do some things with the football. Albuquerque's focused on Douglas Brown, they're focused on G.P. Wells. You see the numbers there, already at the century mark, getting 8 yards a pop. And you see him loading the box again. Time for Bruin to shine.
Calling signals. Bruin, he dumps it off on the out. It'll be complete to Hillerman.
That might be Israel Adams, number 18, running that out route. And it's going to be incomplete. They're saying he was not in bounds. Interesting ruling there, but 2nd down nonetheless.
2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line as we click closer to halftime. As we go with the bunch formation, Adams shift their line. Inside handoff to Wells. And he's battling for extra yards here as we get to 3rd and 3.
And Wells running against that dime look from Albuquerque. They had 6 defensive backs on the field. That was a good time for a run. Wells not quite able to get the full fare on that. Did not make the line to gain. Now it's an interesting 3rd down here.
2 receivers to the bottom. Inside handoff to Wells. He breaks it, and he'll get the 1st down.
And that is a huge 1st down for Memphis. Wells delivering a successful run here. He's got to fight for that last yard. And gets the block there from Isaac Holtz, the fullback. And you see Dante Grimm wrestling him to the ground. And Grimm will step up on that run coverage. And Albuquerque will need him to step up now as much as ever. As G.P. Wells already passed the century mark and looking for more.
So, Josh, looks like I'm going to go from the gun here. 2 to the top. Wells back to pass. He dumps it off. And he's snowed under.
Yeah, that's Sean Brule, the backup tight end. That's an interesting decision by Bruin to go to Brule. And I know he's open, but he's behind the line of scrimmage. You want to spread things out here. And I really think Memphis at this point is just trying to show Albuquerque a variety of things and get them to stop thinking about G.P. Wells, who isn't even on the field here at this point, Tom.
Yeah, they're gonna go gun here and bring out all the receivers. Back to pass goes Wells. Steps up in the pocket. Complete. It'll be 3rd and 1. Beautiful, beautiful throw and catch there with that step up.
Yeah, that's Churchill, and I believe that is his first catch of the game. He might have had one earlier and I missed it, but he has not been very familiar with the ball, at least in this game. And I actually thought he caught that. The forward progress would have given him a 1st down, but no, 3rd and 1. And here comes the heavy set.
Here we go, and the Adams counter. Back to pass. They'll dump it off to Wells, and he'll get the 1st with ease.
And that is a beautiful bit of play design. Memphis goes into the heavy set. Albuquerque says, okay, we'll put 8 in the box. Let's see what you got. Memphis says, haha, just kidding. And they run Wells out on the flare route. He's wide open. And that is a nice, as you said, Tom, an easy first down for Memphis. And they're knocking on the door.
And we go back to the heavy set. And looks like they're going to stack the box again. Wells back to pass. Throws it over the center. Caught! Looks like it's the backup tight end again, Shane Brule.
Yeah, Brule had to do a little more work on that second catch. He went up there and got drilled as soon as he caught the ball. And very impressive job by the backup tight end to hang on to get his team into second and short.
So they're going to go 2 receivers to the bottom as they go from the eye. Bruin calling signals. Could this be an audible? Waiting for the snap. Inside handoff. And they'll get the first. First and 10 from the 40-yard line of Albuquerque. As we're down to the 2-minute warning in this quick-paced game. Albuquerque 21, Memphis 14. They go with an offset eye here with 2 receivers to the top. Linebackers are sliding. Inside handoff to Wells, and this is going to be blowing up. Whoa, he stuck out and got back to the line. I thought it was going to be blowing up for Sir Josh.
Yeah, I did too. Albuquerque getting great penetration there. Wells, ever the shifty one, manages to shimmy and sneak past that mass of humanity and get back to the line of scrimmage. One of the best no-gain runs I think I've seen.
So we're going to go 3 wides here as they go under center. Inside handoff to Wells. He breaks it down. So it'll be 3rd and 1. Pickup of 9 on the play. That's a nice second down run.
Yeah, it really is. And Memphis doing a great job of throwing a bunch of different looks at Albuquerque. And Albuquerque has to account for that on the defensive side. They went to the nickel there. They had 5 defensive backs on the field. And that made the way a little smoother for GP Wells.
And we're going to get no huddle here as that one play just breaks the first down marker. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 29. They go back to the full house. Back to pass. They dump it off to Wells. And he'll pick up 3 on the play. They go back to the no huddle.
Memphis has all 3 timeouts. They're saving them for what, I'm not quite sure.
Back to pass. Caught over the center. Again, that's the second tight end, Buell. He's been busy on this drive.
Yeah, some people might wonder, why would you go to your backup tight end so often when Mike Churchill has 1 catch and Israel Adams is not getting a lot of volume either? And the reason is because you're playing the defending champs and they're expecting you to do those things. And so you counter that by doing things they're not expecting. And Shane Brule, by and large, is coming up pretty big for Memphis so far.
As they stack the receivers to the bottom, Bruin calling signals, dumps it off on the out. It's caught by Churchill.
And now we're in a spot here, Tom, 4th and 3. And it looks like Nate Collier is going to come on the field. They are going to kick this. You can make a case that GP Wells gives you a chance to get 3 yards on a run. And still leaves you a fair amount of time on the clock. But I think Memphis is just going to take the points here. I'm not sure I like the decision.
I don't know. I kind of like the decision, but we're split on that. So let's see if it goes through. Collier gets it down and through the uprights and closes the gap.
And now it's just 4 points, and Memphis will get the ball to start the second half, and I wonder if that factored into the decision-making for Memphis. You get the sure 3 points here. Albuquerque does not have a lot of time to do anything here on offense, 37 seconds. That's not to say Douglas Brown can't score, because obviously we know that he can. But it is statistically unlikely. And then Memphis will have a shot to open the second half with something on offense.
Caught at the 3, and we're up to the 32-yard line with 33 seconds remaining. Now, does Bruin decide to play conservative here and hand the ball off to Wells, who just take a knee.
Well, I think Trellis Blanton might take a shot at this. You know, I think that he's got a legitimate downfield threat in Nate Ritters, and they still have a timeout left. That is an option for them, although running it with Douglas Brown makes a lot more sense.
Blanton hands it off to Brown, and they're going to go no huddle here as the clock continues to tick.
And they're not going to use that timeout either.
They crowd the box, calling signals, inside handoff. They'll pick up a yard, they'll go back to the no huddle. You don't know why they don't use the timeout here, Josh.
To not use it and go and then go hurry up is a bit of a surprise.
And that'll kill the clock as we go to the half with Albuquerque up 21-17. What'd you think, Josh?
Well, I think Memphis has done a great job of answering the bell. Albuquerque comes into their building undefeated on the season right now. And Memphis fighting for their playoff lives. And they're probably watching the scoreboard right now. Madison is up 10 toward the end of the third quarter in their game. And they realize that if they don't put out a puncher's chance against Albuquerque, they're not going to have a shot at all. But they are punching. You see they have the edge in total yards and certainly in time of possession, with Albuquerque having those big scores and then obviously the kick return touchdown. And for the most part, done a pretty good job of corralling Douglas Brown, who only has 2 touchdowns. And that's a bizarre thing to say, but when you're considering Douglas Brown, I think it is a legitimate thing to say. I love what Memphis is doing on offense. They're giving Albuquerque a variety of looks. They're finding ways to get GP Wells big gains. I would like to see O.J. Bruin throw the ball a little bit more downfield in the second half. But right now, Tom, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Memphis.
It's been a great first half. As we say hello to everybody in the chat. As we head into the third quarter, get your threes up.
And then that tremendous run by Douglas Brown to answer the score from Memphis. And then, of course, Memphis answered with the score of their own. And here's the mother of all spin moves as GP Wells, with the team on his back. He's listed at 5'9", 205. That weight does not include the team on his back. And then, of course, Traeger answers the answer with a kickoff return touchdown. And spoiler alert, nobody caught him. Albuquerque leads by 4.
As we wait, and there's the field goal to end the half. As we wait for the third quarter kickoff.
But Albuquerque, I think a lot of people in chat and following the SFLm would like to see an undefeated team go into the playoffs and have a shot at a perfect season. When I think that team is in your building and you're the Memphis River Runners, you have to do everything you can to prevent that from happening. And I think we will see that from Memphis as we tee it up here, Tom, for the third quarter.
Ball teed up at the 35-yard line. And there we go. As it comes down at 5. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 27. Nice run back by Harris.
Harris has been doing yeoman's work on the special team side so far. And now what does Memphis have in store for Albuquerque here on the offensive side that does such a great job of mixing up looks, balancing the runs and passes? But they haven't thrown much downfield. I wonder if that'll change here.
As we see the Albuquerque look like they're stacking the box. Handoff, and it's blown up in the backfield. Beautiful play by the Adams there.
And that is Tiger Santana. He's going to do that 2 or 3 times a game and just ruin the opposing offensive coordinator's world. And this is how it happens. Just completely uncovered. I'm not quite sure how that happened. There was a blown assignment there on the offensive line. And Santana says, "Don't mind if I does," and wrestles GP Wells to the ground for a big TFL.
So that's a 3-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 13. They're back down to the Memphis 25-yard line with 10:35 remaining in the quarter. As they go double tights. Back to pass goes Wells. Lots of time. Going deep and nearly picked.
It's Dante Grimm, the first one to get a finger on that ball. And this is just horribly underthrown. Bruin's got a nice pocket. You got to be able to step up and throw that and get that into the hands of Israel Adams, who has the defense beat. There's nobody between Adams and the end zone. It's not a good ball. Grimm is there and nearly comes away with the interception.
So it'll be 3rd and 13. Let's see if O.J. Bruin has any tricks up his sleeve.
Be a great time for a trick right now. Bunch formation at the bottom. We may see one, Tom.
Waiting for the snap. Back to pass. Caught on the slant. And it'll be a yard short.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially when you think about how much work Churchill had to do for that. You know, I know you want to have good timing on that play, but you cannot run an 8-yard play when you need 9 yards, especially at this point in the game. First possession of the second half. You need to make a statement. You need to come out. The last thing you need is a 3-and-out, and that's exactly what Memphis just did.
Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for your info on how to create a player, to join the community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and comprehensive history of the SFL. Over 1,500 games and thousands of players. Who hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. It'll be 1st and 10 for Albuquerque from the 28-yard line. Tight with Brown in the backfield. Back to pass goes Blanton. He catches it in the slant, and it's caught by Ritters.
And that Blanton looking to get some other guys involved. This is what I was hoping they would do as a team. They have a lead. Their playoffs are secure. They can clinch the 1 seed with a win tonight. They would also clinch a 1 seed if they beat Salt Lake City next week, or on Friday, excuse me. Irrespective of this game, this is a good opportunity to showcase some of your other talent.
Inside handoff, and it's blowing up. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And once again, Memphis doing their part to bring that average of Douglas Brown down. It's at 10.7, but when you consider he ripped off a 70-yard run earlier in the game, you might take 10.7, especially against someone like Douglas Brown.
So we're going shotgun with 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Blanton calling signals. Caught over the center. That'll be a 1st down. Down to the 38-yard line. Caught by Ritters.
Yeah, and Laquan Smith went in on the CB blitz, and Bland just went to his hot man, and that was Ritters. And Ritters doing just enough to get that ball past the sticks. Impressive play by Albuquerque.
And this time they go back to the full house. Calling signals. They start to stack the box for Memphis. Inside handoff to Brown. And Memphis is ready for the running game in this second half. The coaches must have really lit a fire under them.
Yeah, that's Zed Markoff, who had a pretty nice first half as well, making contact with Brown behind the line of scrimmage. And Memphis, this defense has come to play. I know they've had a couple breakdowns, but they've been very impressive so far.
As they go back to that full house formation, again, they're stacking the box. Inside handoff, and again, nice play by the Memphis defense.
And that's Laquan Smith, the cornerback, who went on the blitz a couple plays ago. And that's just a great form tackle. You don't see that a lot from a quarterback. Smith just wrapped him up, put his nose into his back, and just drove him to the ground, forcing a 3rd and long.
3rd and 9 from the 40-yard line. 7:40 remaining in the clock as we go to the gun. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Calling signals is Blanton back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's got to get out. And he's down. Quarterback sack.
And the pressure gets home. And that is a big money performance there from Trevor Flemons. And you could see he just wins on the edge and gets home. Blanton steps up in the pocket, but not quite enough. And the Adams have to punt.
So Bennington will have to punt from his own 34. Todd. Nice return here. Look out. Look out. He gets to midfield. That's a nice return on a punt.
That is an outstanding return. And Ken Harris, who's caught a couple balls, comes through on the special teams side as well. He's no, don't get me wrong, he's no Mackenzie Traeger, but he's doing some work here, getting this punt out to midfield. And now Memphis will enjoy a short field. Remember, they kicked the field goal earlier, Tom, and they got a chance to pull within one with a field goal here, or maybe even do a little better than that.
1st and 10 from midfield. As they break the huddle, they go full house. Single receiver to the bottom of the screen as the Adams shift. Inside handoff to Wells, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. He was lucky to get back to the line.
He was, and he is having himself a nice game. But even during a nice game like that, you're going to have some no gains, some losses, and you just have to keep running the ball. GP Wells, players like him and Douglas Brown also, they thrive with volume. You got to give him a chance to break one.
Inside handoff to Wells from the gun, and he gets a yard on the play.
I will say, though, on the previous drive, Tom, even though it didn't work out for him on the 3 and out, Bruin was throwing the ball downfield. Did not have a great throw to Israel Adams, but they were taking shots and making the defense work. On 3rd and long, I'd like to see them do something similar here.
So they go bunch to the top with a single back and a single receiver to the bottom. Back to pass, and it's sacked! Lunch meat. Big old number 95, Santana on the play.
And I think that is his second sack, or second TFL at least, of the game. And Albuquerque doing a nice job of answering with another 3 and out after the big punt return. Albuquerque's going to get the ball back.
And Keener gets under pressure and still gets off a decent punt here. Comes down at the... It'll be 1st and 10 from the 19. 1st and 10, Adams.
Now, Albuquerque heading into this game probably did not think this would be a 4-point difference halfway through the 3rd quarter, and that's exactly where we are. No wonder if Blanton might take it upon himself to air the game out a little bit. And of course, going to Douglas Brown is always such an attractive option.
So they go split backs here with 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. And they dump it off. And it'll be incomplete.
I think that's Waverly, the fullback. Yes, it is. And Waverly getting his couple of touches in. Not the best ball from Blanton, but not the best route from Waverly either.
Well, here comes chance number 2. 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. They go 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Inside handoff to Brown, and he'll pick up 3 on the play.
You know, once again, great defense. It's Miles Gibson this time making first contact, and that's how you have to defeat Douglas Brown. You've got to hit him within a yard or 2 of the line of scrimmage, and even if he drags you for a little bit, at least he's not going to the end zone.
So this time they're going to go 4 wide, 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top as they go from the gun. Blanton calling signals, waiting for the snap from Cummings. Snap comes out, caught over, going over the center, and it's picked! Going back the other way. Beautiful play by the River Runners, number 22.
That's Zach Loritis again, and we've seen him deflect a couple balls, but look at this, Tom. Well, the pressure is getting really close to Blanton. You won't see it on this replay, but Zach Loritis once again leaping. And this time he comes down with the ball, and he's able to get a nice return on the interception. And Memphis already in field goal range here to start this drive.
As we're down to 4:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 21-17, Albuquerque. Bruin calling signals, goes back to pass. Pressure coming, steps up in the pocket. Look out! He's going down. Sack.
And I thought Bruin was going to try and run that. But that is David Ware. How about David Ware getting in there and corralling a scrambling O.J. Bruin. Bruin dead set on looking downfield instead of running with it, and paid the price for it there. Sack for David Ware.
2nd and 15 from the Albuquerque 27-yard line with that loss, a 5-yarder. Inside handoff to Wells. And the Adams are there. He gets a yard on the play.
And I don't know if I like that decision, Tom, to run it on 2nd and long unless Memphis has already resigned to getting the field goal and they decide to run it here and give Nate Collier a kick in the vicinity of 40 yards. 40 to 45 at this point.
As they go gun here. And it's nearly picked by number 47. That's Dante Grimm.
And this is why you want to get your wide receivers involved in the offense earlier. Caesar Ackerman has to make a high leverage catch over the middle there. Hasn't had the ball in his hands very much today. And now you're counting on him to make a huge catch in the red zone that would be potentially for the go-ahead score. And that's even more difficult when you're not able to get the ball into his hands early.
So it'll be a field goal attempt from the 26-yard line. And it's good. And we've got a 1-point ball game.
Collier doing a nice job of booting that through. That's great when you know you have a kicker that's money from inside 40 yards. And if you could do a little bit better than that at this level, in that 40 to 45 and maybe even the 50 range, and that would have been close from 50 yards. I don't think it would have been in there. But that's a nice thing to have. And Nate Collier makes this a 1-point game.
So Collier will kick off from his 30-yard line. And it'll come down at about the 5. And we'll have 1st and 10 from the Albuquerque 27-yard line for the Adams.
And you're talking about this game as a boxing match, Tom, and that interception by Saklaritis was almost like Ivan Drago getting cut in Rocky IV, where it looks like the underdog actually has a chance now. We got a 1-point game here, the 3rd quarter winding down.
As they go back to that full house formation, Josh, one to the top. Blanton calling signals, hands it off to Brown. And he'll get 4 on the play.
Yeah, nice job converging on the run there once again. Miles Gibson getting in on the action.
Blanton with a 58% clip on his passes. Calling signals. Inside handoff. And look out! Look out! Brown's on the run. Look out! 20! 10! What a run! He gets down to the 7-yard line.
And another huge run by Douglas Brown. And he just walked into the middle of this mass of humanity and was able to slip away. But this time, his number 23, that's Laquan Smith, who was able to catch him and hold him up just long enough for reinforcements to arrive. But it might be a afterthought anyway. Now it's 1st and goal for Albuquerque. They got a chance to make this a 2-score game.
They're calling signals. Inside handoff to Brown. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Adams.
And you watch this run. This is not a particularly fast run, but he's got the block there by Waverly. Cuts back inside, gets the block there from number 74. That's Ty Chambers. No, excuse me, that's Vern Houston. And he is a large gentleman, paving the way for Douglas Brown, who gets into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
As Monroe will come out to kick the extra point.
And the extra point will make this a 1-score game still.
And it's good.
And I don't know if you'd want to go for 2 in that situation necessarily, especially if you are the undefeated Albuquerque Adams. But missing that, if you went for 2 and didn't get it, Tom, you'd still be up 7. And I don't think it would cost you anything. But if you get it, then you're up 9 and it's a 2-score game. I'm not sure I like the decision.
So the ball is kicked off, and it'll come down at about the 5. And will be 1st and 10 from the Memphis 24. And I agree with you. I don't agree with that call either.
I think Memphis has an opportunity now. And should they score relatively quickly, they'll have a decision of their own to make if they're going to go for two or if they're just going to kick the extra point and make it a one-point game again. We might see ramifications from this decision.
So we go two receivers to the bottom as we go offset to the top. Brown. Wells gets two on the play.
And we are seeing this Memphis offense slide back toward one-dimensionality, if such a word exists. GP Wells shouldering more of the burden here. And we're not seeing the exotic passing sets that we were seeing earlier, or run sets for that matter.
So they go two receivers to the bottom. Back to pass. What a sliding catch over the center by number 18, Elzel Adams, 6'5", 225.
Yeah, tremendous catch, and nice job by Bruin putting that ball where only his receiver could get it, about a foot from the ground from where Adams happened to be.
This time they go tight ends to the bottom of the screen. Single back formation, handoff to Wells. And he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And look who is on the tackle. It's Dante Grimm coming up from his safety perch to come down to the line of scrimmage and help out on the run defense, and help he did there. No gain.
So this time they go three receivers to the top, one to the bottom. Bruin calling signals. Inside handoff, and he'll get about two on the play.
And the most impressive thing about that, I know, is 2 yards, but Albuquerque was lined up in that dime set. 6 defensive backs, only had 1 linebacker on the field, and they're still able to hold GP Wells to just 2 yards there. That does not bode well for Memphis's prospects toward the end of this game.
As they go back to the gun here, three to the top, one to the bottom. Wells back to pass, dumps it off, and he'll pick up a few on the play.
Yeah, that's going to be well short of the first down, and now 4th and 5. And not a great call. You had the drag route in there with that bunch look, and then you run Churchill on the out, 4 yards short of the marker. And I just don't understand the logic by calling that play there.
And that'll end the quarter with the score Adams 28, River Runners 20. You're watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. Keener out to punt. He gets it off, no pressure. Good hang time on this kick. Comes down, and we'll get a 3-yard return on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Albuquerque 23.
Nice special teams play by Memphis, but now the defense has to come through once again. They forced a punt, they forced an interception, but then they also gave up the TD to Donald Brown after that long run that generated the 1st and goal, and then Brown punched it in. They need to get a stop here, or maybe even better, a turnover.
They're going heavy set here. As Blantonthal signals, hands it off to Brown, and he'll pick up 2 on the play.
And that was a terrific hit by Roy Vance, who came roaring in from the secondary and just blasted Brown in the shoulder and took him down. Tremendous tackle. Roy Vance just joined the team just a couple weeks ago. He's a week 5 signing, making an impact on that play.
So we're going to go with an offset eye with 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Inside handoff, and it's blown up.
That's Jackson Phillips, number 97, getting a TFL. Defensive tackle, tremendous effort. Memphis starting to come together here for the River Runners a little bit. Need to get it done here on 3rd down.
As we go from the gun, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Blanton back to pass. and nearly hit by number 58 on the play.
That is Miles Gibson with the deflection, and it looked like he did get a second hand on that, had a chance to bring that in. But as it stands now, 4th and 10, and Douglas Brown is going to watch his counterpart, G.P. Wells, do a little work here. And maybe Mr. Wells can muster up his 3rd touchdown and bring this game close to even, if not even.
Bennington gets the snap. It'll come down at about the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 41 as they get 1 on the play.
And that is great field position for Memphis to start. You got a short field, less than 60 yards to go to the promised land. Plenty of time, just under 10 minutes to play. This is an opportunity to put together a drive like they did in the second quarter. Do they have that in them now, though, Tom?
We'll see as they break the huddle and go to the full house formation. Back to pass, they dump it off to Wells. And he'll get 2 on the play.
We're seeing a little more variety, trying to hit Wells on the flare route. Bruin, conversely, could stand to take a shot or 2 down the field. You can see how that Albuquerque defense bunching up again, Tom.
As they look to stack the center of the field, inside handoff to Wells. And nice tackle there on the play.
And you see the numbers there, 156 to 195. This has been a running back duel, if ever there has been. Douglas Brown on the verge of getting 200 yards again. And Wells will take a break.
And here they go as Bruin goes from the gun, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Pressure's coming, lets it go, and it's tipped. What a play by the defensive back. He was beaten.
He was. They're looking for Israel Adams. And you could see Jack Keener coming on already. And Dante Grimm, who does such a great job at run defense, makes his presence felt in the past, who might have taken an interception away from his own teammate there. But as it stands, that is going to be a stop for Albuquerque. And I don't like the decision to leave G.P. Wells on the sideline on that 3rd down, Tom. I think he's been your best player in this game so far. You got to at least look like you're going to go to him on 3rd and medium.
Well, it's such a close game. Every play is going to be counted on. As Keener gets the ball and comes down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Adams.
And I see 5 special teamers around the punt returner there making that tackle. And special teams is fired up. And now the Memphis defense is going to be fired up as well. Albuquerque has a chance to ice this game. Any sort of score, and it's going to be really difficult for Memphis to come back. But they have not had the most success on the offense so far in the second half.
And they're going heavy set here. And they dump it off to Brown. And he'll pick up 5 on the play.
And it looks like they might have gotten him to step out of bounds, too, which would be a positive for Memphis as well. And you see Brown and Laquan Smith jawing a little bit at the end of that play. And Brown, we have mentioned the numbers, 195 yards rushing, and certainly over 200 yards all-purpose with his contributions in the passing game. And that said, I think Memphis has done a fair job of corralling him most of the time.
Handoff, Brown. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And I make that comment, Tom, in the context of what Douglas Brown has done over the course of the season, busting off long, ridiculous runs. If he has 30 carries and you stop him on 27 of them, that's fairly decent. The problem is that he has scorched you for the other 3.
Back to pass, and it's knocked down by the River Runners.
Miles Gibson again, Lord of the hook zone. He's not giving up any of that underneath stuff at the second level. And here comes Bennington. Albuquerque's going to punt.
Keep up with the simulation. Keep up with the SFL and its social medias at simulation.fl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up with news. Let us know your favorite team or hashtags enjoy the broadcast each week. Hashtag make an impact. Thanks for your support and viewership. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line.
And Tom, Memphis could use a little support from their offense. GP Wells, who's had a nice game so far, they are 1 score away. And I think, not for certain here, but I think if Memphis does score on this drive, they are going to go for 2. And we may see some resolution to this thing sooner rather than later.
Bruin calling signals, back to pass. He dumps it off to Wells, and Wells has got room. And he'll get the first on the play as they get almost up to midfield to the 49.
And he does get out of bounds, too. And I wish O.J. Bruin would have given him a better ball. Wells had to make an adjustment. I don't know if we'll see the throw here, but it comes behind Wells. You can see he's got to turn to get that, and he does make a nice little spin out of it, but has a chance to regain his footing. He might have had a chance to break that for a little more yards if he can catch that ball in stride.
So as we wait for them to break the huddle here, so we see the Memphis defense break the huddle. As we see Memphis take the ball, and they're in they're in full house. Calling signals, inside handoff, bounces it outside. Nice play by Wells.
And I don't know if Wells missed a hole there, but it looked like if he had gone inside that perimeter block instead of outside, he might have been able to spring something. There were a host of defensive backs there waiting for him. But it's not a bad run on first down. It's on schedule. Now you're 2nd and medium.
2nd and 6 from the 47. We're down to 7 minutes remaining in the game. 2 receivers to the top. Bruin lets the inside handoff go, and he'll pick up a few on the play and break it down to 3rd and 2.
Got 4 on first down and 4 on second down. And now you're at a manageable 3rd and 2. And GP Wells, I would hope, will stay on the field for this one. This is absolutely achievable with a run, depending on the set that they decide to use here.
And they go offset I with 2 tights. 2 receivers, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Wells calling signals. Hands it off. And Wells gets a few on the play. It'll be 4th and 1. Did they go here, Josh?
Yeah, I think you have to. 6 minutes left. You're in plus territory. It's 1 yard. Your running back has had an outstanding game. I think you got to go for it.
And they set up to do so with 2 to the top and 2 tight ends. Back to pass. And it's tipped. Why would you throw it there? Why not just give it to Wells?
That's a great question. And especially if you're not going to Wells, why are you going to Isaac Holtz, your fullback, running a fly pattern up the middle, and he is in quadruple coverage, and you're running right into the teeth of this defense. That's number 41, David Ware. He's playing some outstanding pass defense there, but that is just a very, very curious call when your running back has basically carried you on his back for 3.5 quarters, and you repay him by throwing it on 4th and 1. Very curious decision.
So now that's a turnover on downs. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line for Albuquerque. They can put this away. Back to pass. Whoa. And nearly picked.
Miles Gibson again. Gibson a little deeper in his pass coverage than he has been. And Bland thought he was going to get away with one, but Gibson showing extreme agility, getting back to the spot. And my goodness, Tom, I thought he was going to grab that and run it back.
Well, that would have given us quite a finish, wouldn't it have?
I would say so.
So they go back to the full house set with double tights to the one side. Inside handoff to Douglas, to Brown.
And now the clock. I'm sorry, Tom. Clock is not the friend of Memphis at this point. It's going to be about 5 minutes remaining by the time Albuquerque runs this play.
3rd and 5. They got to start using timeouts if Memphis wants to stay in this game.
Well, if you get a stop here, I don't think you need a timeout per se.
Inside handoff, and they get the stop. 4th and 2.
You saw Zach Laritis, who had the INT earlier, just scrambling to find a way to get into the tackle of Douglas Brown. And I think we're all a little surprised that Memphis still hanging in this game with less than 5 minutes remaining, and they're going to get the ball back.
And Bennington will have to punt.
Third punt in the second half for Albuquerque.
Here comes the pressure, nearly blocked. Caught, and fair catch at the 14-yard line. So not great field position for the River Runners.
No, and I think O.J. Bruin is really going to have to start throwing the ball downfield, which is something that he wanted to do on fourth down. Or maybe he will decide to go ahead and do it here. And how will they get G.P. Wells involved in this drive as well? Spoiler alert, not on this play.
They're going to the gun, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Bruin calling signals. Pressure's coming up the middle. Beautiful play up the middle by number 47.
And this is just a nice route. Everybody's worried about the trips up top. And Ackerman just slides right into the middle of the field, catches that right on the hash. Tremendous catch in traffic. Huge first down for Memphis to start this drive.
So now we go full house backfield as you try to slow it down a little bit. Go one receiver with double tights. Dumps it off to Wells as they go no huddle here.
Interesting decision, but if they like the personnel grouping, they could stay in this.
Back to pass, they dump it off to Wells again, exact same play, and he picks up a yard in the play, and they go no huddle again as the clock continues to tick.
And Albuquerque overloading the box here. I wonder if Memphis is going to try and throw the ball down the field at this point.
Back to pass, throws it over the field, caught!
And look who it is. It's your buddy Sean Brule making his second or third big catch over the middle today.
Backup tight ends are people too, my friend. Back end tight ends are people too.
Technically, they're not.
So here we go. Offset eye, back to pass goes Bruin. Caught over the center. Nice catch there by Churchill.
Very smooth catch and run by Churchill. Caught that at his hip and still managed to break it in stride. We're going to get a great look at it here. And Bruin airing it out a little bit. That is a really pretty ball. And Churchill making a great adjustment to catch it. Big first down.
1st and 10, and they're in Albuquerque territory as they reach the 42-yard line with 3 minutes remaining in the game. As they go full house. Outside handoff. And look out! Look out! He's got room! Saving tackle there by number 94.
Yeah, Yakov Zolotov saving a touchdown there. If G.P. Wells got the block to get into the third level. And you see right there, Isaac Holtz right there getting the block on Dante Grimm, who loves to blow up running backs. Unfortunately, the hustle of Zolotov for Albuquerque manages to keep points off the board for Memphis. Tremendous run by Wells and a great block.
Down to 2:33 as we get closer and closer. We go to the gun, 2 to the bottom, 2 tights. Calling signals is Bruin. Back to pass. Runs the out route. Caught by Churchill. 1st and 10.
And Churchill, I like the decision to stay in bounds. You're getting the 2-minute timeout. You're basically going to decide the game on this drive. And that is a gorgeous route by Churchill, who had a chance to turn upfield. I think he was thinking about getting into the end zone. I don't think he was thinking about going out of bounds at all.
As it's closer and closer to the 2-minute warning. Will they get the play off? As they go full house here, and they won't. 2-minute warning with the score, Albuquerque 28, Memphis 20. You're watching the Simulation Minor Leagues on YouTube. Bruin calling signals from the gun. 3 receivers to the bottom, a single to the top. With a 2-minute warning past us, back to pass goes Bruin. Throws it over the center. Caught! Down to the 1-yard line.
Huge catch by Ackerman in traffic.
How did he get that wide open?
Well, look at this. He's a chip block. And so everybody probably thought he was staying in the block. And Dante Grimm realized just a little bit too late that no, he's going to run a pattern. And O.J. Bruin delivered a perfect ball, 1st and goal.
But if they score here, they still got a lot of time on the clock for Albuquerque to come back here as they go to the full house formation here. Bruin calling signals, hands it off, and touchdown, River Runners. Beautiful run by Wells. Beautiful run by Wells.
Beautiful run by Wells indeed. And this is very simple. Just follow your block. The seal's there. Little spin move to make that defender miss. And now, Tom, now we get to the critical portion of the program. They need a 2-point conversion just to tie this game. Everything's riding right here.
1:30 remaining on the clock as they go for the 2-point conversion. 2 receivers to the bottom as they go tight to the top. Inside handoff to Wells, and he's blowing up. Zakov or Zoloff on the tackle.
Yeah, Wells is going to need some Zoloft after that. And Yakov Zolotov making a tremendous tackle, perhaps a game-saving tackle. And I don't know if I like the play call, but I do like that they made the decision to go with their best player, a decision they had not been making at certain points of this game.
And here comes the onside kick. Scramble for the ball. As we wait to see the officials to award. And it looks like it'll be an Albuquerque ball. 1st and 10 from their 39-yard line as they go full house and try to run this clock out with 1:29 left.
And Memphis has all 3 timeouts, and we'll probably see them use some here.
Inside handoff to Brown, and he busts a good one here, and we see our first timeout used by the River Runners.
And that really complicates things. With getting the first down, now you have 2 timeouts left. And they have 4 chances, and they're in field goal range already because of the onside kick. But give credit to Memphis. They played hard. They played with ferocity. They flew to the ball on defense and special teams.
As we see a heavy set here to in the backfield. Inside handoff to Brown. He spins and picks up 5 on the play. And the River Runners use their second timeout.
Albuquerque next week is going to face Salt Lake City in what may very well be a preview of the SFLm championship game. And I think they'll be ready for that one, Tom.
Well, I think so. You know, Ross Napoli will have his boys ready, so. Inside handoff. And it'll be 3rd and 3. And the last timeout is used by the River Runners.
And if you're Albuquerque, the textbook thing to do here is to simply run it. And then you could kick the field goal if you like, but you're up by 2. Make it a 5-point game. And so Memphis will have a smattering of time to pull off the miracle.
Heavy set. Inside handoff to Brown, and he's blowing up in the backfield by number 78. Morgan Mills.
And by now, I think Memphis has learned that Madison took care of business on their end. 34-17, that final there, which evaporates any chances of the River Runners making the playoffs.
Monroe will try to help turn this lead to 5. As they continue to let the clock tick down. And it's good. And we have a 5-point lead for Albuquerque.
And some pressure on that, some penetration on that field goal attempt, Tom. I thought we might have seen a chance of a block. But the kick is good.
So Monroe will kick this deep. And they'll have 31 seconds for the River Runners to get back downfield, as they'll need the major to win this game.
And no timeouts.
So let's see what O.J. Bruin's got under his helmet.
And he has the opportunity. He's got the skills. He's got the arm to get this thing down there. Maybe not all the way down to the end zone, but you need at least one monster throw on this drive, preferably sooner rather than later.
So we got 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom from the gun, as they're sitting in prevent defense here. Complete, as they go no huddle here as the clock continues to run.
Great catch by Churchill. A terrible decision to not get out of bounds.
And they clock it with 10 seconds remaining.
And that cost you a play, but that doesn't really matter much at this point. You don't have time to run 4 plays. You might get 2 or 3. Then now's the time to chuck it down the field and hope somebody's smiling down on you.
Greatest play in sport, the Hail Mary. It looks like they're going to try one more play. Back to pass goes Bruin. Throws deep, and it's caught! Look out!
No way!
Holy jeez! 2 seconds left, 1! Oh, they just didn't have the time, Josh. 31-28, Adams win and clinch first place.
Congratulations to the Albuquerque Adams, and congratulations to Memphis for an outstanding game. Giving it all they had. Tremendous fight in the River Runners. And it is unfortunate that this team is going to miss the playoffs now. But you see the quail there by Saccharaitis. And they needed all the time that they had and a little bit more to put the fight to Albuquerque top. Tremendous game by both teams.
Beautiful game by both teams. Congratulations to both coaches. Great game plan. So, going into next week, do you think the Adams rest people? Do you think they continue to try to go strong and go undefeated for the whole season?
Well, I think they're going to look at the matchups and see who's available. We still have a lot of issues in doubt in terms of who's left. With Salt Lake City in and Albuquerque in, we've got 2 spots and 4 teams fighting for them, those being San Jose, Tacoma, and now Madison. So 3 teams for 2 spots. And if there is a matchup there that they like, although I would think all the matchups that they would like since they are undefeated, they may try and play the game a little bit. But really, Tom, I just think this is a team that feeds on its own success, that has a culture of success. And I don't think they're going to give up anything, even if it means resting players.
For the 31-26 game, it's been a beautiful game. We want to thank you for coming out, as we have Douglas Brown, who was our player of the game. I'm Tom Riddell, and my partner Josh Zirkle. We want to thank you for coming out to the game, and we'll see you next week.